This feels like we're going right back to the prostitution conversation. I can feel that's where we're curving to. Okay.
What up? What up? Welcome back. We back. Episode 12, The New South. Once again, it's your boy. I'm Rod Bridgers. Rod_Bridgers on Twitter, and to my left.
Call me Mr. the Whiz Kid.
Whiz Kid.
You know what I'm saying? I'm repping Wizards gear until they're out of the playoffs from now on. Don't quit making that face. Quit making that little face. You know what I mean?
It might not be long, but I'm just. When's game 2?
Game 2 is tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I just need one. I need one stolen in Toronto. That's all I need.
Well, everybody.
Hey, I'm here. I'm in here. Ball is Life East. We in here.
My guy shot Don Juan. He's back. He's back behind the background.
Yeah, he went back to getting up out of here.
Yeah. So, what's been going on, man? I mean, y'all just got back in town.
Spent a week in Oregon.
That's dope.
We stopped in California for a second and did a little wedding action.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
It was so.
It's still. Let me help you out. You know what I'm saying? That was tragic. I'll make sure to zoom in on that. Now that the season's over and we're into the playoffs, there's a couple races for awards that are heating up or have heated up or have stayed heated up the entire season. Yeah,
it's been spicy.
Real spicy.
It's been real spicy.
Who do you think is your NBA Rookie of the Year? Is it the 76ers, Ben Simmons, in his second year? Or is it the Utah Jazz's Donovan Mitchell, who is in his legitimate rookie season?
So I'm honestly going to go Ben Simmons. Here's why I go Ben Simmons. Well, first of all, he had a better statistical year, a better year overall than LeBron James had.
15.8 points a game,
right.
8.2 assists per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, and his team went 52-30.
He won 52 games as a rookie, dog.
That's sophomore.
A red shirt.
A sophomore.
But listen, here's the thing. Like, he didn't play a game of basketball last year. It ain't like he played 10 games and said, okay, I'm going to shut it down for the year.
He worked out. He practiced. He was in the film room. He was in the playbook. He was in the system.
But what is Philly's playbook, though?
He was paid.
But what is Philly's playbook? Ben Simmons, run a pick for Ben Simmons. You go stand in the corner, Donnie. Webb, you go stand in this corner.
You say that.
It's a scheme.
Even watching the Hoop Summit, watching them run those kids through those sets, Donnie even said, he was like, how the hell do these kids remember all this? Because it might just be one break-off set of what you're doing, but I don't, like, that's overlooked. That is... there's a playbook. I agree, but
in the Sixers case, in the NBA, when you have horses like Embiid and Simmons, pick and roll, get out my way, whip whap, let me get this, go to the corner, JJ.
You know better than that.
I understand it. I do. But listen, I love Donovan Mitchell. In any other year, he's unanimous pick. But what Ben Simmons is doing, so here's the difference for me.
The difference is Ben Simmons is in his second year in the league.
Ben Simmons is a superstar.
The difference is Ben Simmons got drafted a year before Donovan Mitchell.
So that brings you back to so I know where this is coming from for you. This is coming from because Blake Griffin won over John Wall.
No. Has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with
that.
It literally just has to do with, like, I rock with Donovan, and I think what he's done this season is special.
It is
at his size, what team he played for, and the fact that he's his first year in his league.
But listen,
a legit first year.
He is a legit first year. Can we point out the fact that Utah is really a playoff team? He's great. He's a really great. Donovan, if you watch this, bro, listen, I'm a huge fan, bro. I think you're a baby D Wade, but so why can't we just give him the co-rookie of the year? Can we do a Grant Hill?
I'd be okay with that, but we both know that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
And we also both know that there is no way on God's green earth that Ben Simmons is not winning the Rookie of the Year. You know that, and I know that, and everyone knows that.
You know why?
You
do know why.
I think I know
exactly why.
I think so.
I mean, Ben Simmons,
because he's clutch, bro.
He's 6'10".
He's clutch, bro, with a K. You feel me? Huh? Is that not what it is?
They do run the league.
They do run the league.
That's true.
Donovan had a special year.
What was his averages?
20.5 points a game, 3.7 assists per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, and his team went 48 and 34. What I will say to Ben Simmons' credit is it is extremely impressive that he averaged over 8 assists per game and 8 rebounds a game all season long.
The entire season.
And he could have averaged over 20 points per game, but he brought that clip down, let his other guys get their numbers, and that's why they went 50 and 32.
So can I tell you the deciding factor why Ben Simmons is the rookie year for me? They just won the 60. What are they on a 16, 17 game win streak right now? And the majority of this without Embiid.
Sure.
Without your star.
Sure.
So now it's all on you. Everything's on you. So you're coming down the stretch. You're trying to hold out Cleveland for the 3rd spot.
How about whoever wins the first round playoff should get Rookie of the Year?
Voting's already in now, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. We're playing hypothetical games here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
does either one of their teams win a first round playoff?
Oh, yeah, they'll be Miami in 6.
Okay, so you got the Sixers winning that. I don't even know who the Jazz are playing.
They're playing the Thunder.
Yeah,
they lost the other night. Paul George went ape shit though.
Right. But that's tough. That's gonna be
that's gonna be tough. I mean, so think about that stretch I'm talking about. Ben Simmons averaged a triple-double, though. So he elevated his game just to prove it. I'm like,
now he's averaging a triple-double.
He averaged a triple-double the last 17 games of the year. He's averaged a triple-double.
Who you got? You're the deciding factor. I already know what you're going to say because you're – go ahead.
Donovan Mitchell.
See? No, put your hand down, yo. Don't put your hand down because you knew he was just going to say Ben Simmons.
I did not. I thought he was going to say, because he agrees with everything you say every day.
At the end of the day, my reasoning is – Ben Simmons did get a year to, regardless if he got to practice or not, he got a year to at least get used to the game speed and see how the NBA game was and then unlike Donovan Mitchell, he at least he got thrown right into it right away.
He was in a pro system.
I mean, sure, but
he was in a pro system. He was in a pro system in Louisville. His body was NBA ready.
This feels like we're going right back to the prostitution conversation. I can feel that's where we're curving to. Okay. Who's your MVP?
It's got to be James Harden, man. You win 65 games. I mean, he deserved it last year.
Exact same vibe that Russ had last year. You have to give it to him.
You have to give it to him. Right, and that's how I feel about it. So, I mean, you won 65 games, led the league in wins. I mean, you had a crazy year, bro. I mean,
it's just funny to me that guys he should win, and I think he will, but guys like that have these crazy years, and it's like and I know you're going to hate me for saying this, but it's like every season LeBron James gets overshadowed. But if you really look at LeBron James in the last however many years, like he could have won multiple MVPs.
But see, that's a good point. But the thing is, it's the most valuable player of that year award. If we're talking about the best player in the league award, he wins it every year. So. You know, and that's what people get it confused. Yes, LeBron's having a great year, but when you break it down, you look at LeBron and Harden. LeBron won, 50 games, 49 games in the East, 50 games in the East?
Right.
Versus 65 in the West.
Do you think you have to go into the season like, I want to win the MVP?
I think you have to go that mindset. You have to start early. Like, it has to, like, James Harden got to a blazing start. Right. I mean, they had, 3 multiple double-digit win streaks.
What's the difference of not really taking any games off? Because you got to keep those numbers up so the games where maybe nobody's watching, nobody's really worried. A lot of times guys are like, I'm not really worried about this game.
Right.
You've got to go in and get.
He got 60 with a triple-double.
Right. Keeping those numbers up.
You know what I'm saying?
James Harden is your MVP. I agree with you there.
I'll take a step from James Harden might be the most unguardable player in the NBA right now, man.
I mean, give him 4 or 5 steps. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Watching him in person is a whole lot of fun. Like, even with the extra steps or whatever, like just seeing how he kind of maneuvers and operates around guys, it's a lot of fun to watch. Let's talk AAU basketball. Woo. Now that things are geared up, we're kicking off this weekend. Live period?
Live period.
First live period this weekend.
You guys heading anywhere?
He'll be in Dallas.
So it's Nike and Under Armour in Dallas.
Adidas will be there, but just regionally. It's Dallas, LA,
DC.
They're in DC. I know they're main.
Minneapolis, I think, are the 4 spots.
Yeah.
Which of the 3 major circuits, Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas? I'm going to ask you a few different questions. Let's start with which will be the most competitive?
I think Nike's typically, the EYBL is going to be the most competitive. And I'm not saying that because of the sense of they have the best players. I just think the Nike, you get the most out of kids on a Nike circuit because they know that's like the pinnacle, honestly.
There's no off games.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, you could play a team that, made up 18. Who's that kid? 30. He's giving you 30.
You think you get more exposure at Nike or more exposure at Adidas?
Oof.
And the reason I asked that, you would always assume it'd be Nike if it's the best.
Right.
But the reality is Nike is probably the least media friendly out of all three of them.
Right.
So you might not get as many cameras, as many eyeballs on you from that side as you might at an Under Armour or an Adidas, who are going to do whatever they can to get people through.
I'll say this in terms of like the environment and the atmosphere and what I've seen, like there's nothing like Peach Jam. There's not.
There's not
nothing. I remember going to Peach Jam when Jalen played with CP3. We went to go watch the older team. They played against Ben Simmons and each one teach one. Chris was on the sideline. Ben Simmons put on an absolute show. Was talking shit to Chris Paul, like everything. That's why he's my rookie of the year. But anyway, that's not the point. But just the environment had the atmosphere. Like I've never seen that at any AAU event anywhere. So to me, I think that's what Nike has the edge, because they always get those guys. Like you'll have a KD just randomly come to Peach Jam, or Brad Bill coaches a team. I mean, shit like that to me is kind of like, I mean, that sets them apart a little bit.
First Peach Jam I ever covered was in 2000 and I don't think it was called Peach Jam then, though. 2009. It was the same Nike event. It was at the same building, same facility.
The cold ass Augusta.
I'm just not sure if it was called Peach Jam because it wasn't. The EYBL didn't exist yet.
Right.
But it was the exact same vibe. Doors were closed. Gym was full. Coaches were everywhere.
Bro.
It was perfect. It was a perfect storm of things. I agree with you. I mean, the Premier League to me is Nike.
Right.
In terms of what you're going to get, the show that's going to be put on for you, the way they're going to take care of you, Nike is still king.
Yeah, I mean, and kids love Nike. So when kids know that I can get those EYBL, KDs, I mean.
But let's break it down.
Right.
If you're talking about your opportunities to get college scholarships, you're talking about your opportunities to go to the next level.
Right.
Do not complain if you do not play on Nike. Because if you play on Adidas or if you play on Under Armour, you are getting the exact same opportunities. The coaches are still seeing you. It might not be the head coach, but guess what? If you show out in front of an assistant coach, it's the same damn thing.
And it really honestly depends on what live weekend you are. Like, I remember when we went to Indianapolis, Roy, Coach K.
Any coach worth his snuff is going to every event.
Yeah.
And it all depends on where they are when you play.
Right.
If you play for more than one season on Nike, Under Armour, or Adidas, and you do not get any attention from colleges, take a look in the mirror.
Absolutely. It's you.
Right. And if that's the case, that's fine. But you can make it. There are more than one way to skin a cat. Right. And that's even outside of the major shoe companies.
Right.
If you're blessed enough to be on a team that plays on a circuit and you get minutes for that team, the ball is in your court.
Right. If you don't get offer on that, that's clearly on you.
And I think Gary Clark's a great example of that.
Perfect.
Gary Clark just played a role with CP3.
He was a junkyard dog.
That's all he needed to do.
Yep.
He got the attention he needed to get the coaches to come see him during the season. Boom. 4-year guy at Cincinnati.
Everybody loved him. I mean, now, and shout out to the guys at Redstone. They did a hell of a job with Gary, but
they set the tone.
Exactly.
They absolutely set the tone.
So you get a kid, but you can only get them to a certain point. At that point, you got to let them go. But always remember that kids will always remember, I came from this program. This is what helped me.
And the reason that they're so well respected is because when they have kids go to the bigger programs all the time, they don't say, no, you don't need them. Stay here with us.
Exactly.
They say, we got you here. Go do your thing.
Exactly.
And that, like you said, that's what keeps them coming back and keeps the relationships with those guys strong, because it's not about them. It's about the player.
Exactly. And that's where a lot of AAU programs get it effed up, bro.
Right.
It's about the kids. The kids make who you are. Like, you don't have shit if you don't have your kids are your resume. Like, if you got a program and you say, oh, I do this and I do that, we give you this. What kids have you put out? What kids have you got into college? Things like that.
If your program is made or broken on one or two players, you don't have shit.
You don't have shit.
Garner Road is not going to be made or broken off of one or two players.
Right.
Team Wall, the way it's being set up and built, it's not going to be one or two guys that makes or break that program. CP3, I mean, the guys are endless. That you have to set up a program. And no Team Felton too. Team Felton, Team Charlotte, everyone. Like, it's all, to me, if you've got a shoe company behind you, you are doing something right.
Right. Yep.
For the kids, if you're a kid who's maybe never done this is your first time go around, what advice would you give them in terms of maybe how to approach a game by game basis?
So the biggest,
especially when so much the vibe for AAU is me.
Right. I think the biggest thing you can control in a situation like that is playing hard and remembering to have fun and just understand that, it's basketball at the end of the day. If you look over to the side, you see 30 coaches. That's cool. Just play. To me, I always told Jalen, those are fans in the crowd. Don't worry about them. Just play.
Kyron Bowman is the perfect example.
Right.
Had no name, had no one who cared about him from a basketball standpoint, had no clout. Mm-hmm. He played hard. He played hard. Mm-hmm. He played hard. By the end of the summer, everyone's like,
who was that?
Who is this?
Right.
Who is this?
Where'd y'all get him from?
Right. Where'd he come from? We've had him all year.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's all, but kids can control what they can control, play hard, play the right way, play the team game. If you could play a team game and show that you could do the little things on the court, that's going to stand out more. Like you said, Gary Clark is another example. Kyron's an example. Kyron didn't score the most with team ball, but he did the little things. He defended. He played hard. He rebounded. He did everything, the little things that they needed. I
promise you, no kid who is a high major D1 kid goes and plays AAU basketball for all the free stuff he's going to get. Right. And if that's what you're doing, again, take a look in the mirror and figure out what your goals are in the game of basketball.
Right.
And don't end up bitching and complaining if a scholarship wasn't there for you when you got done with it.
And see, kids, honestly, it's like a chain reaction. Kids get this sense of entitlement. I play with the EYBL, so I do this. I can go to this college here. I ain't got to work hard. I'm high major. Then you get to the school, you sit on the end of the bench. Now you one of those 800 kids transferring because the coach is whack, the coach yelling at me, man. Get out your feelings, like you brought this on yourself.
When you step on campus, the reset button is hit.
They don't give a shit about you when you sign them scholarship papers.
It's no different from middle school to high school, from high school to college to the NBA. When you start new, you hit the reset button. No one cares where you've been or what you've done. It's all about what you do for me now.
Yep.
So look, this has been Rod Bridgers at Rod_Bridgers. Don Juan behind the camera doesn't want y'all to know where he's at, so y'all can't know him for shit. And I am Webb Wellman, aka. Oh, hold up.
Oh, give it to him. When are we hooping? We got invited to go hoop at William Peace with Claude and the boys.
Wait, I didn't know this. I was unaware of this.
Oh, yeah, we got tagged in it.
Yeah, we got tagged in the tweet, so we're going to hoop, man. So
is Claude gonna be there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I saw Claude last week, so
I'm in.
We're there.
I'm in. I'm there, and we'll take the camera.
That's what they wanted cameras there. So, hey, listen, we're there, episode 12, man. We out, New South. Peace.
Last time I played in peace.